Mastering modal verbs in passive voice. Avoiding common mistakes. Hello learners. Today we're diving deep into a crucial aspect of English language learning. The use of modal verbs in the passive voice. It can be a tricky topic, but don't worry, we've got you covered. Today, we're going to identify common mistakes learners make and share some strategies to help you avoid them. First things first, let's do a quick recap on what modal verbs in the passive voice look like. Passive voice with modals involves using the structure modal plus be plus past participle. For instance, the task must be completed by tomorrow. Or, the letter can be written in an hour. These sentences express necessity and possibility respectively, in a passive construction. Now that we've refreshed our memory, let's look at the common mistakes that learners make. 1. Incorrect use of the infinitive. It's common to use the base form of the verb after a modal verb, like can write, or must complete. But in passive voice, you need to use be plus the past participle, as in can be written, or must be completed. Incorrect. The assignment can finish by tomorrow. Correct. The assignment can be finished by tomorrow. 2. Forgetting the be after the modal verb. Another frequent mistake is leaving out the be in the passive structure. Incorrect. The book must return to the library. Correct. The book must be returned to the library. 3. Confusing active and passive voice. Sometimes, learners mistakenly use the active voice instead of the passive with modal verbs. Incorrect. They should respect everyone's ideas. Correct. Everyone's ideas should be respected. By being aware of these common errors, you can avoid them in your own speaking and writing. Now that we know the common mistakes, how can we avoid them? The best way is through practice and persistence. Practice constructing sentences with modal verbs in the passive voice. Start with simple sentences, then gradually make them more complex. And don't forget to check your work for the common mistakes we've just reviewed. Persistence is key here. It might take time to master, but with regular practice, it will become second nature. That wraps up our lesson on modal verbs in the passive voice. Remember, mistakes are a part of learning, so don't be disheartened if you make a few along the way. Instead, use them as stepping stones towards mastering the English language. Keep practicing, stay persistent, and you'll be using modal verbs in the passive voice like a pro in no time. Until our next lesson, happy learning!